Hello and welcome students of Europe Hotel School. I'm your guide on this learning journey and AI expert in modern hotel operations. Let's talk about one of the biggest moments in our industry, opening a brand new hotel. It's incredibly exciting, right? But it's also packed with risk. Everything can look absolutely perfect on paper, but how do you really guarantee a flawless guest experience from the moment those doors open? Well, today, we're diving into the single most critical tool for making that happen, the operational trial run.
All right, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the massive challenge of a pre-opening. Then we'll get into the solution, the trial run. After that, we'll cover how to actually simulate a live hotel, what to do after the simulation is over, and finally, how to turn all that practice into perfection.
Okay, let's jump right in. Part 1, the pre-opening challenge. This is all about bridging that gap between your plan and what actually happens. Think about it. You're in this pressure cooker environment. All those months of meticulous planning are about to collide head-on with reality. Every single SOP, every training manual, it's all about to get a serious reality check. And that gap between the blueprint and the real world, it's not just a gap, it's a huge chasm that can swallow a hotel's reputation before you even check in your first guest.
And this quote really says it all, doesn't it? Theory must be tested in practice. It's the absolute core principle here. You can have the most beautiful, detailed manuals in the world, the best trained staff imaginable, but until they have to face the pure, unpredictable chaos of a live hotel, it's just theory. The real world is where plans get put under real pressure.
So that brings us to the big question. How do you pressure test your plan without putting your reputation on the line? Simple. You create a practice game. And that's our solution, the trial run, the ultimate test before day one. Seriously, think of it like the final, full-dress rehearsal before opening night.
And let's be really clear about what this is. This is not a casual walkthrough. It's a full-on, high-pressure stress test. The entire point is to intentionally create controlled chaos, to mimic a really busy, difficult day, so you can see how everyone, and I mean everyone from the GM down to the housekeeping team, actually performs under real pressure. It's the final exam for your people, your processes, and all your technology, all rolled into one.
Okay, so how do you actually create this controlled chaos? How do you simulate a live hotel? Well, it's definitely not about just opening the doors and letting some friends and family wander in. No, this takes a really carefully scripted plan, a plan that's specifically designed to push your operation right to its breaking point.
It really boils down to 3 key steps. First things first, you need to recruit your volunteers. These are your mock guests, staff, friends, family, whoever. Step 2, you script the scenarios, and you're not making it easy. You're designing tests to hit all the maximum stress points. And finally, step 3 is execution. You run a full-scale, 1 or 2 night operation, and you treat it just like it's the real deal.
And the key here really is that you are not scripting a nice, easy day. You're basically simulating your worst nightmare. You want a massive wave of check-ins and check-outs happening at the same time. You throw in a bunch of early arrivals. You have guests asking for extra beds, complaining about lost luggage. You even create maintenance snags or simulate a power outage. And then you just watch. How does the team communicate? Who steps up to take charge? This is how you find the real breaking points in your system.
And you know who's right at the center of this storm? Housekeeping. They are the absolute hub, the engine room of the hotel. Just imagine, they're trying to manage all the arrivals, prioritize rooms for VIPs, execute the cleaning flawlessly, update the system status in real time, and respond to every little request. Their performance under that kind of pressure, it's probably the single best indicator of whether your entire operation is ready for showtime.
All right, the simulation is done. Everyone can breathe for a second. But the most important work is actually just beginning. Now we get to the most valuable part of this whole exercise. The after-action review. This is where we turn every single failure, every little hiccup, into a foundational lesson for success.
You see, the true value here isn't about patting yourselves on the back for what went right. It's about identifying those procedural and systematic bottlenecks that were completely invisible on paper. For example, maybe the blueprints look perfect, but during the simulation, you discover the main linen closet is a 5-minute trek from the corner suites. That is a massive bottleneck that's just killing your room turnover time. And there's no way you would have found that just by reading a manual.
Now, this is absolutely crucial. For this review to work, it has to be a blame-free zone. If your team is worried about getting called out for making a mistake, you will never, ever get to the root cause of the problem. So the focus has to be on the process, not on blame. We're not asking who messed up. We're asking, why did our system allow this to happen?
It's all about fixing the process, not pointing fingers. And the way we do that is with a really simple but incredibly powerful framework. It's built around these 4 key questions. Number 1, what was planned? What was supposed to happen? Number 2, what actually happened? Let's get the facts straight. Number 3, and this is the big one, why did it happen? Why was there a gap between plan and reality? And finally, number 4, what are we going to do next time? This structure takes what could be a messy conversation and turns it into a concrete, actionable plan.
And this whole analysis has to be driven by data, not just feelings. We need to look at the hard numbers we captured during the simulation. So, metric number 1, average room cleaning time. Was it on target with our brand standard? And if not, why not? Is it a training problem, a supply issue? Do we need to rethink the workflow? The data points us to the right questions.
Okay, metric number 2, average response time to guest requests. How long did it take to get that extra bed to the room? This number is a direct reflection of our team's communication and our ability to deliver a great guest experience. If there are delays here, it tells us there's friction somewhere in our system that we need to fix.
And it's not just about speed, it's also about accuracy. Look at this, maintenance snags. How many of those little things, a flickering light bulb, a slow-draining sink, were actually caught by staff and logged correctly in the system? Because every single one that was missed or logged incorrectly, well, that's a future guest complaint just waiting to happen, and we can prevent it right now.
So, we've run the simulation, we've gone through the after-action review, we've analyzed the data. Now for the final and most important part, turning all that practice into perfection. This is about guaranteeing a resilient operation.
And the final output here isn't some long, dusty report that's going to sit on a shelf. No way. It's a short, concise, and urgent action plan. It details the exact changes we need to make, whether it's adjusting a procedure, moving equipment around, like creating that new satellite linen closet we talked about, or scheduling some targeted retraining. And all of this has to happen before the first paying guest walks through the door.
And make no mistake, successfully completing these final adjustments, that is the difference between a smooth, successful opening and a complete disaster. This isn't just about ticking boxes on a list. This is the final push that ensures your team is confident, prepared, and truly ready for anything opening day can throw at them. So, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. What hidden flaw is lurking in your plan? Because trust me, every single plan has one. The only choice you have is whether you're the one who finds it during a trial run or if you let your first paying guest find it for you.